Everywhere. Everywhere they can get, they are leaving direct footprints that we can read. You can think of it like tracking. The sun and the wind. There is no environment on Earth where the sun and the wind won't, if they can get to it, give you clues to direction. Now, this is a picture taken on a fairly still air day. There's a very, very light breeze, but what we're seeing here is not a wind pushing the trees over. This is a long-term effect. Everywhere in the world there are wind patterns. The wind can blow from any one direction, but what we find is things average out to what we call the prevailing wind, and that's the wind you are most likely to get. That once you know the prevailing wind direction in any part of the world, you can be in the middle of the ocean, you can be in the Arctic, you can be in the middle of London, you can be in a desert, you can be around here. Once you know where the wind comes from on average, you've got compasses all around you. In the UK, it moves around a little bit, but on average, the wind comes from the southwest. So the technique's very simple. When you see trees that have clearly been combed over in a long-term way by the wind, you face in the direction it looks like the wind has come from to create that effect, and you'll be facing where the prevailing winds come from. So in this case, you'd be facing very close to southwest.
Down a weekend or today? Do you like them? Whether or not I like them.
Like if you were wrestling, what song would you come into?
It's a good one. Something pretty heavy, I reckon. Yeah, something.
Justin Bieber then.
Slayer.
Justin Bieber.
Some Slayer, I
Yeah.
reckon. Yeah.
Slayer.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't got it, so do you want to sing it as he comes in? No? Alright guys, I'm going to get off the stage. Massive round of applause. Let's make some noise for the legend, Paul Kelly.
Well, thank you for that. Much appreciated. I am actually recording this about plants and uses, not just foods, but medicines, practical uses, and you know, the classic one here is one of the best bushcraft and survival plants you can know, which is cattail, Tifa latifolia. Very, very useful plant. It occurs right around certainly the northern hemisphere, and has many, many uses, from fire to making matting to food, lots and lots of uses. And I love teaching people about those things. It really enables them to engage in the resources that are available in nature.
Battle reenactments, and you know, people say, well, you know, it's
the breweries from being struck by lightning, although my limited understanding of Thor is I'd imagine he'd be more concerned about damaging beer than damaging nettles. And really interestingly, while I was researching this, so there are nettle species throughout the world. There are nettles in Asia, there are nettles in Africa. And while I was doing this research about Thor, I came across the fact that the Yoruba people of Nigeria have a thunder deity called Shango, an Orisha of thunder. Nettles are also sacred to him. Now, I just find that a fascinating coincidence that we have two thunder deities from very different cultures associated with the same plant. You know, is it that touching a nettle is startling, like a thunderbolt or a lightning? We don't know. People are fascinating. Anyway, yes. So, why were nettles associated with fertility?
No chopping block. You don't want to be chopping
straight onto the ground. I'm going to show you lots of things not to do in a bit. You don't want to be popping that there, even if it's balanced, and then trying to split it, because your axe is going straight towards the ground. You've got no protection. And also, if you're having to balance it, even on a block, yeah, there's a really nice viral video of I think he's African, but there's a black gentleman with amazing axe skill. It's going around Facebook at the moment. He's doing amazing stuff. If you have that amount of skill and that amount of proprioception, you can get away with what he's doing. Yeah. But what you don't want to be doing, and what I don't do, is balance that there and then go for it. Yeah. Because at some point when I'm tired, I'm having a conversation, I'm going to catch my thumb. Yeah? And I've seen plenty of Facebook group photos over the years of people who have got an axe wound there. Okay? And there is not a lot of muscle there. Yeah? It's bone, it's cartilage, it's nerves, it's blood vessels. And if you mess with that stuff, your hands don't work properly. Yeah? So you really don't want to be cutting corners. If you can't get that to balance on there, think about sawing it off more squarely next time. That's the key to getting something to balance. But equally, if you can hold it, just do the technique I showed you. If we've got no block and this is big enough, here's another option which most people don't like doing because it is dynamic. You don't want anybody behind you doing this technique. This might be a bit light because you're relying on the inertia of the log. That is, it won't want to move off quickly. Like this is heavy, right? If I try and move that, it's not going to accelerate quickly. That's lighter. If I hit it, it's going to want to move off. But I'm relying on hitting it quickly to split it. This works really well if you're working on, if you've got like a rocky surface and you've got no stump, or a snowy surface that you've got a crust of snow, but if you try and work down onto it, you're just going to punch through the snow into the soft snow underneath. So I'm going to ask you guys just to take a step 1 meter either side, because again, you don't want people in front of you. Sorry, cat. No, you're all right. Stay there, Fred, all right? All right, so the other thing here is I'm going to hit the front face of this wood with the axe. So I do not, even though my intention is for the axe to go that way, I do not want my feet behind the front face of that wood, because if it deflects, I'm going straight into my shin or the metatarsals or somewhere, okay? So heels are in line, no further back than the front of that. Okay, that's a key safety point with this technique. Then hold the axe however you want. If you feel more comfortable with your dominant hand guiding, that's fine. If you feel more comfortable the other way, size it up. Decide what you want. And it didn't quite go because it's quite light, but that's fine. What's important is your aim is good. See if I can get it from this side. There we go. So it's got a knot at the
Tony, and you're Tom, aren't you?
Yeah, actually down as Mead Man on the book.
That's me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's, I've been called worse.
Yeah. So, Tom, are you right left handed?
Right.
So, hammer goes in your right hand. It goes in the hand you naturally pick up a hammer in.
Okay.
Tongs go in the other one.
Okay.
Tongs have got nice little grooves there, which don't cold hit anvils.
Don't what?
Don't cold hit.
Sorry.
In between. So you'll either dent the anvil or dent the hammer.
All right.
And that will be in them forever. And we're taking every single piece of work.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. So nice tongs, top and bottom, grooves to hold the work. So we put that in, get it hot. The handle goes anti-clockwise, and that pushes our air in, starts to get our heat in there. Look. And then when we do come out, we're going to come to here, hold this at sort of 20-30 degrees, and come in at 45. And that, we're going to put a point on it. You can do 4 hits on one side,
Yeah.
turn it 90 degrees, 4 hits on another,
Yeah.
turn it 90 degrees, 4 hits. Basically 4 hits and turn.
Okay.
Till we get away.
And then the opposite side.
No.
Yeah?
Just,
Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
right. You remember the most important rule, or one of the most important safety rules.
Don't reach down to pick it up.
No, if you drop something, don't catch it.
Step away. Yeah.
Just step back. You missed the girly squeal, which is a disappointment. But so we're going to work. It's working two sides.
Yes.
And then turn 90 degrees. And then turn this two like that.
Yeah, well.
But you do 4 hits and then turn 90. Because if I work here,
Yeah.
it's these two sides being worked, and then when I
Yeah.
turn it 90, it's these two.
All right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Good. No pressure.
Nah.
Not quite. There we go. See. The firm believe in people learning through information recall.
It's just dirty.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Run that by me again. It's
So-
on one side, four
Yeah.
hits.
Yeah, and then turn it 90 degrees,
90 degrees.
and then 4 hits, and then
Four
back
hits.
to the first one.
Back to the first
Yeah,
one.
bring it out.
Ah,
Lovely heat.
right. So 20, 30 degrees
Yeah,
on the edge.
Yeah.
So, 5.
Good. Bring forward. And bring you forward.
Yeah.
Think about any
You're
detail.
right,
task. Yeah, any detail task from sewing on a button to rewiring a plug.
Back in.
We don't do it at arm's length, do it?
My main day-to-day is going around schools, but I started out as a reenactor, so working for